Alright, fluid power symbols. Fluid power graphic symbols, Ansi, Y3210 graphic symbols, introduction, general. Fluid power systems are over the transmit control power over the use of the pressurized fluid, liquid, or gas within an enclosed circuit. The types of symbols are commonly used with drawing, circuit diagram, fluid power, pictorial, cutaway, and graphic. These symbols are fully explained in U.S. Standard Drafting Manual Reference 2. Pictorial symbols are very useful for showing interconnection or components. They are difficult to standardize from a functional basis. Cutaway symbols emphasize construction. These symbols are complex to draw, but the functions are not readily apparent. Graphic symbols emphasize the function method, the operation components. The symbols are simply drawn with the component function method operation. Obvious graphic symbols are capable of crossing language barriers and can promote universal understanding of fluid power system. Graphics fluid power system should be used in conjunction with graphic symbols or other systems published by the U.S. Standard Institute Reference 37 inclusive. Complete graphic symbols are those that give the symbolic representation component and all of the features pertinent to the circuit diagram. Simplified graphic symbols are stylized versions of the complete symbols, and composite graphic symbols are organization simplified complete symbols. Composite symbols usually represent a complex component. 1-2 scope the standard presence of the system with the graphic symbols, fluid power diagrams. 1-2-1-1 elementary forms of symbols are circles, rectangles, arc, dots, square, triangles, arrows, crosses. Symbols using standards. Symbols using words that are abbreviations are avoided. Symbols capable of crossing language barriers are presented here. Component functions rather than the construction is emphasized by the symbol. The meaning of the operating fluid power components are shown from part of the symbol where applicable. Standard shows basic solids describe the principle of the symbol and base to illustrate with the representative of the composite symbols. Composite symbols can be devised for any fluid power component with combining basic symbols. Simplified symbols are shown with commonly used components. Standard provides basic symbols which differentiate between hydropneumatic and fluid power media. 1-2-2 purpose. The purpose for the standard is to provide a simple system of fluid power graphic symbol and industrial education purpose. The purpose of the standard is to simplify design, fabrication, analysis of fluid power circuits. The purpose of the standard is to provide fluid with a power graphic symbol which are internationally recognized. The purpose of the standard is to promote universal understanding of fluid power system. Symbol rules. Symbols showing connection, flow path, function, component representative indicate with the condition occurring during the transition of flow path arrangement to another. Symbols do not indicate with the construction, nor do they indicate values such as pressure, flow rate, or other components component settings. Symbols do not indicate location of ports, direction, shifting spools, position, or actuators on actual components. Symbols may be rotated or reversed without altering meaning, except in the case of the lines, the reservoir 411B and vented manifold 4123C, accumulator 42. Line technique. Keep the line widths approximately equal. Line width does not alter meaning. Symbol. Solid line means main dash line, pilot light for control. Dotted line, exhaust and drain line. Center, enclosure, outline. Sensing line, same as the line which connects the line crossing the intersection is not necessarily at a 90-degree angle. Shows the line crossings. Lines joining. Basic symbol may be shown with a suitable size, verified. Varied emphasis of clarity. Relative size shall be maintained as in the following example. Circle, semicircle, large, small circles used to signify one component of the main, other, auxiliary, triangle, arrow, square, rectangle, letter combination used with the part of the graphic symbol are not necessary abbreviations. Multiple envelope symbols of low condition show the nearest actuator symbol that takes place and whether the controllers cause or permitted to actuate. Each symbol is drawn to show the normal test and natural condition components unless the multiple diagram are furnished with various phases of circuit operation shows the actuator symbol for each of the flow path condition posed by the component. An arrow through a symbol approximately 45 degrees indicating in case the component can be adjusted or varied. An arrow parallel to the short side of the symbol where the symbol indicates component is pressurized component. Pressure compensated. A line terminating in a dot represents the thermometer symbol with the temperature, cause, and effect. See temperature 7 to 9, temperature indicators and recorders 912, temperature compensation 1063, 1016.3, and 1016.4. External ports located with the flow lines connect the basic symbol except with the component enclosure symbol is used. External ports are located at the intersection flow lines, component enclosures with the enclosure. See section 11. Rotating shaft symbols lies by arrow, which indicates the direction of the rotation. Ensures assume arrow of the near side of the shaft. Conductor fluid. Line working, main line pilot for control, line exhaust, liquid drain, line settings, line sensing, etc., such as gauge line shall be drawn the same line in which it connects flow direction of the pneumatic, hydraulic, and line pneumatic outlet to atmosphere, plane orifice interchange unconnected, plane orifice unconnected, connecting orifice thread, line with fixed restriction, line flexible, station testing, measuring power takeoff, plug ported, quick disconnection without checks, connected, disconnected with 2 checks, connected and disconnected with 1 check, connected, disconnected, coupling, rotating coupling, for energy stored and fluid storage, reservoir vented, pressurized, reservoir conventionally drawn into the horizontal plane. All lines enter and leave from the above reservoir with the connecting lines above the fluid level, below fluid level. Above fluid level shows these above the tank, and then below all go to the bottom of the tank. Show the inner line leaving below reservoir only when the such bottom connection is essential for the circuit function. Simplified symbol. These symbols are used as part of the complete circuit, but they analogous to the ground symbol of electrical diagrams, such as the ground symbols such as these may be used in one diagram to represent the same reservoir. Alright, below fluid level, above fluid level, the return line determined with the upright legs of the tank symbol, the vented manifold, accumulator spring load, accumulator gas charge, accumulator weighted, receiver, energy source, pump, compressor, accumulator, etc. Symbol may be used to represent fluid power source, which may be the pump, compressor, any other associated system, hydraulic, pneumatic. Simplified symbols exist. Example, fluid container, fluid conditioners, device where control physicals are physical characteristics of the fluid. Alright, heat exchangers show the heater and inside triangles indicating the introduction of heat. Outside triangles showing the heating medium is liquid. Outside triangles show heating medium is gaseous. Cooler inside triangle indicates heat dissipation. And then corners may be filled with the represent with a triangle and or temperature control. Temperature is to be maintained between the two predetermined limits and show the pictures. Filter, strainer, separator, manual drain, automatic drain. Filter separator with a manual drain, with automatic drain. Decelerator, a chemical dryer, lubricator, less drain with manual drain. Line devices, cylinder, hydraulic, pneumatic, single acting, double acting, and then single end rod, double ended rod, fixed cushion, advance, retract. Adjusted cushion, advance only. Use the symbols when diameter rod and compared with the diameter bore, significant circuit, non-cushion, cushion, advance, retract, and then pressure intensifier, servo position, simplified, hydraulic, pneumatic, discrete, positioner, combined 2 or more basic symbols. Actuator control, spring, manual, general symbols without indicating or specifically foot, hand, or leg or alarm, such as push button, lever, pedal, treadle, mechanical, detent, shows the actual component being symbolized, a short line indicating the detent in use that may be conveniency, be positioned on either end of the symbol. Pressurized compensated electrical solenoid, single winding, reversing motor, pilot pressure, remote supply, and then it shows the last one, remote supply. Internal supply, actuating release pressure, remote exhaust, remote internal return, pilot control spring centered, simplified symbol, complete symbol, pilot differential, simplified symbol, complete symbol, solenoid pilot, solenoid or pilot, external pilot light, pilot supply, internal pilot supply and exhaust, solenoid pilot, thermal and mechanical device respond with thermal can change, local sensing, bulb remote sensing, servo symbol contains representation engineering input and result and output, composite actuator and/or basic one symbol only cause for the device to operate, one signal second with a single both cause the device to operate, one signal or other signals cause the device to operate, or solenoid or pilot manual override alone cause the device to operate. Solenoid in the pilot manual override the pilot. Solenoid in the pilot manual override pilot or manual override alone. Okay, rotary devices, basic symbol circle, semicircle with ports, with rotating shaft, with control, and with draining hydraulic pump. Fixed displacement, unidirectional, bidirectional, variable displacement, uncompensated, unidirectional, simplified, complete, bidirectional, simplified, complete, variable displacement, pressure compensated, unidirectional, simplified, complete, bidirectional, simplified, complete, hydraulic motor, fixed displacement, bidirectional, variable displacement, unidirectional, bidirectional, pump, motor, hydraulic, operating one direction and pump other in other direction as the motor, complete symbol, simplified symbol, operating one direction flow as either the pump as the motor, completing symbol, simplified symbol, operating both direction flow either pump or motor, variable displacement, pressure compensated shown, complete symbol, simplified symbol, the pump, pneumatic, compressor, fixed displacement, compressor, vacuum, fixed displacement, motor, pneumatic, unidirectional, bidirectional, oscillator, hydraulic, pneumatic, motor engines, electrical motor, IEC, internal combustion motor, engine, instrument, accessories, indicator, recording, pressure, temperature, flow meter, flow rate, totalizing, sensing, venture, orifice plate, pilot, tube, nozzle, hydraulic, pneumatic, accessory, pressure switch, muffler, valves, basic valve assembly, assumed one or more envelopes inside of the envelope represent the flow of the path flow conditions between the port with the symbol system represent the valve type, single envelope, both infinite position, multiple envelope, infinity position, multiple envelope, infinity position, single envelope, valves envelope is managed to move, illustrates how the pressure or flow conditions are controlled with the valves actuated. Multiple envelopes symbolize valves in more than one finite flow path, ocean fluid. The multiple envelopes move the representative of how flow path change with the valving element with the component is shifted to the finite position. 10.3 multiple envelopes valves capable of infinite positions between certain limited symboli. The 10.2 above the additional horizontal bars which are drawn parallel to the envelope horizontal bars are clued with the infinite position function possess valve represented envelopes and ports. Ports internally blocked. Symbol system 10.1, symbol system 10.2. Flow paths internally open. Symbol system 10.1, symbol system 10.2. Flow paths internal opening. Symbol system 10.3. Two-way valves on and off manual shut off simplified off. And then it shows that picture of on checked and simplified composite symbol flow to the right and flow to the left is permitted. Check pilot light pilot operated to open. Check pilot operated to close. Two-way valves, two position, normally closed, normally open. Infinite position, normally closed, normally open. Normally closed, normally open. Three-way valve, two position, normally open, normally closed. Distributor pressure is distributed first one port, then on the other. Two-way pressure, double check valve. Check valves can be built with and without crossblade. Such valves are two-popped that do not usually allow pressure momentarily crossblade return during transition. Valves with one poppet may allow crossbleed, as the symbol illustrated. Without crossbleed, one weed flow, crossbleed reverse flow permitted. Four-way valves, two positions, normal. Actuated, three position, normal. Actuated left, actuated right. Typical flow bath center condition, three position. Two position snap action with transition valve element. Shift position to the other passes the intermediate position. Central circuit function symbolized with the transition condition shown with the enter center position enclosed by dash lines. Typical transition symbol, infinite position between open and closed, normal, open. Pressure control valve, pressure relief valve. Normal, actuated, relieving. Sequence, pressure reducing, relieving. Airline pressure regulator, adjusting relieving. Infinite position, three-way. Infinite position, four-way. Valves. Flow control valve C37, adjustable non-compensated flow control in each direction. Adjustable with bypass flows control to the right, flow to the left, bypass control. Adjustable pressure compensated with a bypass valve. Adjustable temperature and pressure compensated. 11 representative composite singles, component enclosure. Composite enclosure may surround a complete symbol, a group of symbols that represent an assembly used to convey more information about the component connections and function. Enclosures indicate extremity of the component. Assembly external ports are assumed to be enclosure line indicating the connections with the component. Flow lines shall cross enclosure lines without loops or dots. Airline accessories, filter, regulator, and lubricator composite. Water drain, pressure reducing regulator. Yeah, simplified. Alright, pumps and motors. Pumps, double the fixed displacement, one inlet with two outlets. Double integral checking, underloading, two outlets. Integral variable flow rate control with overload relief. Variable displacement, integral replenishing control valves. Two position, four connection, solenoid pilot, actuated manual piping, overload, simplified system, complete system. Relief valves, relief balance typed, remote operating sequence, integral check. Remote direct operational sync with the differential errors, internal integral check. Pressure reducing integral check. Pilot operated check. Differential pilot operated open. Two position, five connection, solenoid control pilot actuated to tense and throttle exhaust. Simplified symbol, complete symbol. Variable to pressure compensated flow control overload relief. And this has completed the reading of fluid power graphic symbol ANS Y3210.